Oh yeah, press conference time, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Southern California, Los Angeles. To be more specific, as we get set to kick off the Latino Night press conference, Riyadh Season. It hits November 16th, and we are live today from the Mayan Theater. We're getting ready for Latino Night, November 16th, headlined by the Cruiserweight unification bout between Zurdo Ramirez and Chris Billam-Smith. Your thoughts as we get set to head to Riyadh Season again?
Well, one of the things that's defined these Riyadh Season cards has been the depth of these cards, and this card is going to be no different. You've got William Zepeda in an interesting fight against former title holder Tevin Farmer. That isn't even the co-main event of this card. There's a lot at stake, of course, for William Zepeda with a fight against Shakur Stevenson potentially on the line months down the line. The co-main event, I think, is really fascinating. Jose Ramirez and his opponent have been circling each other for years. They've been stablemates, first with Top Rank, now with Golden Boy Barboza Ramirez. They are finally going to get it on in the co-main event, and a unification fight at Cruiserweight. That's what I love about some of these cards. You get great fights, great unification fights, and I think this is going to be a good one with Gilberto Ramirez and Chris Billam-Smith, two of the top guys at the 200-pound weight limit, going at it for two belts.
Let's focus in on that fight, Sergio. Since losing to Bevo, we saw Zurdo move up to Cruiserweight. We thought that might be a little too big for him, but he's really grown into that division. It looks like he's fighting better than he ever has right now.
No, I'm not worried about him growing into the division. I mean, 6'3". He's going to fill out the weight nicely. I'm really looking forward to how he's going to come to the game plan. I mean, I love the fact that Malik Scott has his fighter working his feet from that southpaw angle. Look at this big man, how nifty he is on his toes, getting the angles. I mean, they call him Zurdo. That's southpaw in Spanish, but it's finally using those southpaw angles, stepping back, catching his opponents with counters like that. That's what I want to see from a big man, because remember, Todd, this is a man that won a championship at 168, moving up all the way up to 200 against a natural 200-pound fighter in Chris Smith. So, yeah, you're going to have to not stand in front of a big man like he didn't stand in front of Gulamirian. He pretty much schooled a big, strong fighter in Gulamirian, and that's what I want to see come fight night.
Well, let's talk about his opponent. You call him CBS. What does he bring to the table? He is, of course, the WBO champion. Zurdo Ramirez, the WBA cruiserweight champion.
Well, he's a big man. He's a natural southpaw. I mean, he's a natural cruiserweight. So that's what I want to see. So he started his career at 200 pounds, and he's fighting like a 200-pound fighter. He's a little rough on the feet. He's a rugged fighter. That's what I'm going to call him. He's a rugged, tough fighter. He comes forward. But what I like about him, he has character, Todd. He lost the fight. He came back and took that fight against Riyapur. That's what you want to see against young, up-and-coming champions like that. Good body puncher, excellent chin. Zurdo's going to have his hands full.
This first fighter hasn't lost in 5 years and is coming off a fight where he avenged that only loss. Taking his opponent's undefeated record in the process, Chris Billam-Smith has an enormous amount of momentum coming into this bout, and a victory will crown him unified world champion, Chris Billam-Smith.
Hello everyone, muchas gracias. Unfortunately, that's as far as my Spanish goes. I'd like to thank Oscar, Golden Boy, Ben Shalom, Boxer, my team, and Turkey Al Sheikh for this opportunity. This, for me, is huge. It's a unification. Like Ben spoke about, I've been written off many times before. Last time out against Richard Riyapur, I was going into his backyard, his soccer stadium, and it was all about him, and it was his night. And I went and spoiled the party, and unfortunately, for the Latinos on November 16th, I'll be doing exactly the same again. All respect to Zurdo, and see you on fight night. Thank you.
Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez is a shining example of the best Latino fighters in the world. He was the first Mexican to ever hold a super middleweight world championship belt. Now, he is the first Mexican to hold a world championship belt in the cruiserweight division. He has taken all comers regardless of his weight class, and that continues as he tries to become a unified world champion on November 16th. The WBA World Cruiserweight Champion of the World, Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez.
Hola, ¿qué tal a todos? I will become the first Mexican Cruiserweight Unified Champion. And it's exciting because my dream will come true this November 16th, and I've been putting everything in the training, a lot of hard work, and thank you, everyone. Thank you.
A few questions first for a few of the guys here on the dais. I want to start with the men in the co-main event, Arnold and Jose. I think a lot of people who heard this fight being made wondered what took so long, right? Like, you guys were stablemates for a long time. As you mentioned, you had the same manager for a long time. Arnold, why now are you two just getting in the ring?
Man, that's a good question. That's what I want to know. You know what I mean? Like, he wants to say, you know, oh, he had mandatories and he had this and that, but at the end of his contract with Top Rank, you know, at the end of my contract, you know, he fought Comey, I fought Pedraza. Like, he fought a month after. We could have got it on right there. You know, I like I said, you know, I came to Golden Boy because I wanted to start like a fresh start. You know what I mean? And then the day I fight and debut on Golden Boy, he gets announced. And I'm going to go through what I went through with Top Rank again. So I'm going to take what is mine. I'm going to take, you know, it's not just me, you know, Barbosa versus Ramirez. You know, this is me against everyone who doubted me. This is me against everyone that said that he will beat me. This is me against my team versus his team. This means a lot to me.
You know, as a fighter, I fight whoever's in front of me, you know, and, you know, when I came to Golden Boy, you know, that's because I wanted the bigger fights. You know, Top Rank, they was definitely slowing down, and, you know, I'm not sure why Arnold Barbosa never got those big fights on the Top Rank. But this is my second fight with Golden Boy, and I accepted the fight against Arnold Barbosa. As a matter of fact, I pushed Rick to get that fight done in my end. So
the mariachis have ripped into Rocky Balboa songs as we get our main event stare down between Gilberto Ramirez and CBS. I was very impressed by what the British boxer had to say.
No, very classy gentleman. And he's a hell of a fighter. I mean, both these guys are world champions. They got to this level. This is an excellent unification. See who's one of the best at 200 pounds. Yeah, man, I really like it. I mean, this whole card, top to bottom, is stacked. But this is what you want in the main event. Two evenly matched fighters.
Next up, it'll be William Zepeda and Tevin Farmer. And if you look up and down this card, and you're looking for an upset to pick, would this be one? Do you think Tevin Farmer can do it one more time and beat the all-offense William Zepeda?
You know what? Southpaw versus Southpaw. A slick Southpaw and Farmer, an aggressive, you know, Southpaw and Zepeda who throws 1,000 punches in a fight. This is the type of fight where we're going to see what Farmer has left. He's coming off a loss, so that is not a good look. But it was a good fight against an undefeated opponent. This is going to be do or die for him. That we're going to find out.
Oscar Duarte on the right of your screen, taking on Sims Jr. Duarte just seems to, even though he had that minor setback to Ryan Garcia, it seems like the path is there for him, Chris, to really make a name for himself, especially here at Golden Boy.
Yeah, this is Oscar Duarte's chance to put himself back in the world title picture, either at 135 or 140 pounds. But he does have a very tough opponent in front of him in Kenneth Sims.
Well, that'll do it for us from here for now. We'll see you next week live from Riyadh. The best fight you can make in all of boxing. It's Bivol versus Bitter BS.